Hey, welcome to Criminally Insane, where we unravel the darkest mysteries, decode criminal minds, and ask the questions that keep you up at night. I'm Meredith, and today we're stepping into one of the most infamous and bizarre unsolved cases in true crime history. A case with so many twists, you think it was written by a bad crime novelist. That's right, we're talking about the JonBenet Ramsey case. Most people actually think that this case was already solved, but almost 30 years later, we still don't know what really happened to 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey, a beauty pageant star whose tragic death turned into one of America's most unsolved mysteries. So let's break it down, grab a little drink and a snack, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just gonna set the scene for y'all. So the Ramsey family wakes up pretty much the day after Christmas, probably still hyped on holiday cheer and all of that, only to find that their daughter was taken. And the crazy thing about this is that there was a ransom note sitting on their stairs, and it wasn't just your normal ransom note. It was 2.5 pages. So I don't know about you, but if I were kidnapping someone, I wouldn't be sitting at the victim's house writing a novel about it. And not just that, but this note was also very suspicious because it demanded $118,000, which conveniently was the exact amount of JonBenet's father's Christmas work bonus. And it was also weirdly polite. It said things like, "We respect your business, but we have your daughter." Who writes like that? And then the next suspicious thing about it was the handwriting, because experts have analyzed it for years. And some said it could match Patsy Ramsey's, JonBenet's mother, but they couldn't ever actually prove it. I'm going to kind of skip ahead to a few hours later when they actually discovered JonBenet. So at this point, she'd been missing for about 12, maybe 18 hours. And JonBenet's father, John Ramsey, and a friend go search the house, and they find his daughter, JonBenet, in the basement. She had been strangled with a garrote, a skull fracture, and oddly there was a bowl of pineapple on the table upstairs, which will come back into play later. And what did the police do? They mishandled everything because this was the 90s, so they didn't exactly have the knowledge or resources to handle the case properly, and a lot of evidence could have been tampered with, which is what makes this case so hard to solve. They had friends and family walking through the house like it was an open house. The crime scene, again, got completely contaminated, and the Ramseys got lawyers almost immediately. Obviously, you don't get a case like this without a bunch of drama and theories circulating, so I'm going to go over some of the theories that arose from this case. Theory number 1, which is what happens to be the most popular theory, is that the family actually did it. So they theorized that Patsy, her mother, lost her temper, accidentally killed JonBenet, and then freaked out and staged the whole scene, staged the note, everything. Or that Burke Ramsey, her older brother, accidentally hurt her and the parents covered it up. So this is one of the most popular theories, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but let's move on to the next one. So the next theory is the intruder theory. So some people believe that an unknown intruder broke in through a basement window, which was found broken when they identified JonBenet's body, and foreign male DNA was found on her clothes. So it didn't belong to any of the family members, it was just a random man, and the DNA was found in her clothes. The only problem with this theory is that there were no signs really of forced entry except for the window, but that was explained to have already been broken. And the house was locked up, and also that the note just seemed too personal to be from a random person. Theory number 3 is kind of similar to theory number 2. It's that a creepy random person did it, because over the years, multiple people have falsely confessed to JonBenet's murder, including a guy named John Mark Carr, a former school teacher who claimed he was there when she died, but his DNA didn't match, and he turned out to be just another random person kind of seeking attention from the case. Okay, so let's wrap this case up. Why do we still talk about this case today? Why do we still care? Number 1 is that it's pretty much every parent's nightmare that their child would be harmed in their own home and not even found for hours. And number 2 is that the crime scene was botched. If the police had handled it better, then maybe we would still have answers and it would be a lot easier to find out who actually did it. And number 3 is that it's an unsolved case, so we don't really have any closure, and the case just kind of makes it really hard to actually find closure. Anyways, that is all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think about this case.